In this video, I'm going to show you how to repair these MSR bindings in the field. And then I'm going to show you some ways of replacing them because they do have some problems. A few years ago, I was guiding a family on a snowshoe adventure up Mount Hood. And first, one binding broke, then another, and then a few more. And we were quite lucky to get off the mountain. So first, it's always good to have a spare. And I did. I had 2 spare bindings with me because bindings do tend to break. But, and that was okay for the first 2 bindings that broke. But then others started breaking as well. This is what you can do. Now, if the break is someplace that is that wouldn't mind being doubled over, you can take the bindings, line up a few holes. Like here, I'm going to line up 4 holes here. Let's say this is the broken binding, and then start weaving this in. You can use shoelace. We actually had some zip ties, but shoelace will work too. And out, and there. You can tighten that up, run it through, there, and you have a good set there. We did this a few times, and the binding started to fail in multiple places. So it was quite a problem. We immediately went back down off the mountain and had no further incidents. Now, I ran across last year some bindings that I had, and this is what had happened to them. They were stored in a shed, and they didn't fare very well. These bindings cost about $10 a piece. The snowshoe I have requires 4 bindings, and that would have been pretty expensive because both snowshoes were wasted. So I came up with an alternative, something that wouldn't leave me, let's say, thinking that the bindings may fail at any moment. These ones will. Rubber is a pretty good material, particularly the ones that they make inner tubes out of. These will last all sorts of temperatures, will last a lot longer than these bindings. They are a bit more elastic, but I think it actually works better. So I took some old inner tubes and I started to experiment. I cut them the same shape as the bindings, and here's what I came up with. I cut the bindings to about the same length, punch holes in them using a hole punch, and it works pretty well. I tried it with several different thicknesses, and they actually all worked pretty well, even the thinnest one. This is probably about what you'll see in a regular cheap inner tube, and it still holds up. Here's a thicker one, and this is the thickest one of them all, and it still works. So you can use pretty much any thickness. Something else that I did differently, one of my pet peeves with these snowshoes is this little clip here. It's supposed to hold the tab in, but often it just gets loose. So if you just cut a piece of inner tube, there it is right there, and put it around, it'll do very nicely. It's still very adjustable and works really well. And these won't get brittle when they'll last all summer until the next season. And when you're up in the mountains, these won't fail on you. I'd still keep a couple extra just in case when you go up there. Something else I've done is I've cut these a little bit long sometimes, just so if something breaks, I can cut part of it off and use it again. Well, I hope you enjoy the video, and stay snowshoeing up there.